Hi everyone, how are you? Hi guys, today we'll be doing this illustration. Let me know if you can hear. Send me a thumbs up so that I know that I'm audible. Hi Divya, can you hear my voice? Hello, hi. Okay, so we'll just wait for a few more people to join in and then we shall begin. My name is Zaisha and I'm from Her Colorful Palette. I do watercolors, miniature paintings, and a lot of gouache. I love creating florals and skies and color palettes. I enjoy creating abstract as well. So today we'll be doing how to paint this simple illustration, for which I will be using MENORAH's Gouache Pad. It's a beautiful 240 GSM pad and I love this size because for me personally A5 and A6 is the best size. I'm a little doubtful about the bigger size, but I am getting there. So let me tell you a little about the paper. It is 240 GSM drawing paper and it is not only for gouache, you can also use it for watercolors, for sketching, for coal art, for almost anything and everything. It's one of my favorite gouache pads. So this is something which I started and I have not yet completed. I'm still working on this. I love how the texture is there. Let me show you in the next paper. Can you see the texture? I'm not sure if it is visible, but this is really good for watercolors, for charcoal, for oil pastels. I love when the paper is having texture. So let us begin. For this you will need gouache paper or watercolor paper, anything above 250 GSM, so that it can hold more water and the texture will be seen. I'm going to use a flat brush, not for the entire painting, just for a little bit. And apart from that, I'll be using these brushes from Alt New. They come in a really good case like this, and they have lovely brushes with artificial squirrel hair. I will tag them along so that you can have a look. Okay, and this is size 2 and size 4. We can even do with size 5 or size 1. It's okay, that's not a problem. I'll teach you how we can do the best things. And I'll be using this color palette, these color palettes, darker tones. These are from Never palette, one of my favorite paints. I will show you what kind they look. Okay, so let's come here. Just arranging it a little bit. Yeah. So we'll begin by taking on paper. I have this book which I maintain with all my colors. So I stick the colors and I swatch them next to it so that I know which color is what. Different companies, different colors. So it helps me see the color palette that I want. And today the colors I have chosen is this color. It's a little sticky because I kept it outside for too long. Sorry about that. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Yeah. So this is mocha color. something like skin tone, and you'll also require a little lighter shade. Can you see the difference between this and this? Yeah, this one. This is a beautiful violet color. It's called Pearline Violet, and it has a really good texture, really good color. I will show you as we paint. Okay. I'll keep this aside. You'll also require some washi tape because we're going to stick it onto the base here. This is the container I keep for painting, and the thick brush, the flat brush, is because what we're going to do is wet the brush entirely and put it all over the paper entirely, fully. After this, we will turn the paper aside like this, flip it over, and we will put it on this as well. This is so that when you're painting, the paper doesn't curl up or it doesn't shrivel up, and it stays in one place. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to put the washi tape and secure it. I put it in that corner. I'll be putting it here. If you have any doubts, you can drop them in the comments and I will reply as I keep seeing them. And if anybody would like to join the live, please send a request and you can join painting with me. Okay, so we are all stuck and we will start. Before that, if you have any questions, I can answer. Hi everyone. Hi Kiran. Hi Shreyas. Hi Mariam. Please show the reference picture. Okay, here it is. Shall I keep it here so that you can see as we paint? Keep it here. There you go. This is the reference picture. Hello. Hi. Hi Ruba. Hi Ishrat. Hello. So if you have any questions or if you'd like to join the live, you can. This is the reference picture and we'll be creating something along these lines. Okay. Hello. Hi. Hi Farah. Hi everyone. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we'll do the sky first and then we'll go for the base. The water is a little dried up, so I'm going to add in more water. I'm taking the size 4 brush. Can you see? Size 4 round brush. You can even do it with a flat brush, but I prefer using round brushes. So these are the colors, the color palettes. We'll be using flesh tone and this color. This color is a brown shade from Never palette. Okay, this color. First you start by painting the flesh color a little bit. You don't have to form a proper shape like this. You don't have to do that. It can be as abstract as possible. A lighter shade. The thing with watercolors is you can keep it as minimal as possible. You don't have to have definite lines and shapes. Now I'm taking a darker tone, just a little bit. This will be too dark. Just a little bit. I'm using Never palette. I will tag them all when I save the live. It's okay if it gets a little dark. You can always lighten it. And you don't have to follow a specific color palette. You can choose any colors as long as there are 2 dark colors and 2 light colors. I'm adding a little bit more of violet to the brown. And you don't have to worry if it is too dark. Once you spread it around, it will automatically lighten up. Now if you feel there is too much paint and you need to reduce it, you can always take a tissue paper and dab it around. And it is also perfect to cause the effect of clouds. You can always add more paint, you can reduce the paint. These colors are highly pigmented, so even if you use just a little bit, it's enough. We can always go back and make the changes or add anything more. Now this is the base part. Here I have divided the page 3/4 and 1/4. So I'm going to be using only this part for the boat's base. So it will be darker here because of the reflection. Okay, so once this is done, what we can do is have slight water, very little. And what the important step in this is to dab it off, because you need to have it damp but not really wet. You need to have it damp. Okay, so it should have a little bit wetness, but it shouldn't be fully wet. Now we'll go ahead and do this part. This is one of the easy methods which you can do. This is the shade that I had chosen. Let me just check if it is similar. So this color is one of my favorite colors in all the palettes. It is called indigo violet, and in some places they also use it as pine gray, which is a really good dark shade. Let me show you the color. So this is the shade which we will be using for the base. Now for this, what you'll have to do is wash your brush fully, damp it, and only the tip of your brush needs to be wet. Everything else needs to be dry. So you just dip the tip like this. Can you see? Only the tip is wet and everything else is dry. I'm going to take this color, and you will wet the entire brush right from the tip to the base. And this is what we are going to do. Let me show it to you here. You're going to keep the brush like this, press and bring it like that. Can you see? Press and bring it like that. Let me show it to you again. Is it clear now? Please let me know if the video is clear. Can you send me a thumbs up if the video is clear? Are you able to see clearly? Hi Sandra, hi Pratibha, Lakshita, Vikas. So what you'll have to do is, for those who joined newly, wash your brush entirely, dry your brush. After you dry your brush, only the tip of your brush needs to be wet. You only have to soak the tip of your brush. The rest of it can be dry. And then fill the color, including the top and the bottom. Okay? And what you're going to do is press and pull. Press and pull. Paint is over in this, but you press and pull. See, this is why we need a textured surface, so that you can get this effect. Okay, so this is what we are going to do for the base of the boat. It doesn't have to be equal. It can be up and down, it can be more paint, it can be less paint. That's completely okay. Each one will give you a different effect. I think this angle is better. Let me put this a little lower so that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to do the boat again. Dry your brush. Press the tip of it into the paint. This is going to be the place our boat is going to be. So press and pull. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll slowly arrange. This is why we need the paper to be damp and not entirely wet. You can form your shape. You can use any dark color for this. You can use a shade of blue, you can use a shade of gray. I chose this color because I think this color will look better with this background. Okay. Now we will do the base. This is one of my favorite parts because here is where you can add more color to the sky. You can show the reflection, at the same time you can show the shadow. Let me keep it like this. Just a minute. Yeah. Wet this part. Wash your brush nicely. Just making it a little wet. I'm taking this shade of violet. It's a dark shade of violet. Can you see the color? It's a beautiful violet magenta kind of a shade. So that's the color we'll be using for the base. You can also add this one. This is magenta shade, which is a bright pink. Can you see the difference? So these two colors with sky color is what we are going to use. You can try this even with fluorescent pink, fluorescent orange, with any shade contrasting you can try. So let's go with the pink. You don't have to worry if you got too much light pink, too much dark pink. It's completely fine, because when the shadow is coming, this part, when the shadow is coming, it'll look nice. Take a dark shade. Take this. We'll take a smaller brush now. This is size 2. I'm going to take the bright magenta pink and just add a slight touch towards the end. Now if you feel like it is too dark and the sky is too light, again what you can do is take a tissue paper and damp it lightly. We will be adding more layers to make it dark, so you don't have to worry about that. Taking my size 4 brush. Now what we are going to do is, while this is damp, it's still damp, see, you can see the fingerprint coming here. We are going to take this shade, which is not too dark, not too light, and we are going to form the shadow. So for the shadow, what you'll do is, from here you will draw a straight line like this and like this. Okay, it won't be straight, it will be parallel like this. Take a little paint. And you don't have to worry about your shadow being prominent, because when it is in water it is going to keep moving and changing, so it's completely fine. As you can see, I have left this portion white. That is because when the sun is coming from one side, it's going to be reflecting, and you don't have to completely finish the shape of the boat. You can leave it as it is. Okay, now I'm going to mix this color, the color we use for the boat, in its shadow. It's going to be a little dark, it's okay. Taking a smaller brush, blend it with the water. Okay, we're going to let it dry and we will give it a darker shade. We will add the dimensions and the details after it dries a little bit. Until then, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comments and I will answer. If you have any questions, you can let me know and I will answer. Which brush? This is the brush from Altenew. It's a company from the US. It comes in a pack like this. You can open it and it comes with 5 brushes, a flat brush, a brush in number 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are using 2 and 4. I will be saving this live and I will also add them so that you can see which paint brushes I am using. Yes, I am using my iPhone. I don't know which other camera is good, so I am using an iPhone. OD I use to protect my watercolor paintings. I keep them in files. I have a file with all my paintings, and in some cases I just keep them in a box. I have this cardboard box where I save all my paintings and I keep it in there. I think that is one of the ways you can save it, or else you can even frame it and keep if you're up to it, or even lamination is okay. And if anybody would like to join the live, you can. We can have some time talking and painting. I can show you the box where I save my paintings. So this is a box which I keep, and I preserve all my paintings inside. Some which I post online, some I don't post. It helps me keep track of my paintings, and also a place where I can access them really fast. My Instagram ID is Her Colorful Palette. It's Her Colorful Palette, and I do miniatures, watercolors, florals. I enjoy painting skies, a lot of skies. I do calligraphy and I do a lot of watercolor florals. GSM of the paper, we are using MENORAH paper with 240 GSM, suitable not only for gouache but also for watercolors, for oil pastels, for sketching. You can use this a lot. This is 240, this paper which I'm using right now. You can use more than that as well. You can use 300, it's not a problem. Any paper with texture, that is cold pressed paper, will be ideal for this kind of a painting. Okay, now that it has dried a little bit, we will go back and do the details. We will take size 2, and now we are going to just mix up a little bit of this color and a little bit of this color. I'm using my paper itself as a blending medium so that you can see. Blend it, and then we are going to darken the shadow. It will be thinner near the base and thicker near this part, okay, because we are showing it as an angle. Now what we are going to do is we are going to blend this part. We don't need it to be so definite because when it is in water, it's going to keep moving. So add in more water, and to distinguish the shape, we'll take this shade, put it around here, a little bit of pink. You don't have to put heavy paints, no, just light touches, like water. It's too much paint. My name is Zaisha, for those who missed. Let me see if I can tag them. I'm not sure how to tag in this, but this is my Instagram ID, Her Colorful Palette. Pink and flesh color is a really good combination, and it's one of my favorites to add in detail and to add in depth. Now we are going to do this part, drawing the sails, and what we are going to do for the sail is a very simple, very easy technique. For that you have to ensure that this part is completely dry. Okay, it's completely dry. Make sure it's completely dry and nothing is there. We will take size 2, and we will take the same color that we used for the base, just on the tip. Okay, just on the tip, and we will draw a straight line. Can you see? We will draw a straight line. Let me try to keep the camera here so that you all can see easily. This is the easel that I use as my camera stand. Now angle is right. I'm so sorry. So we draw the straight line, and next what we're going to do is wash our brush, and with whatever paint is there in this little thing, we are going to add it here, little bit paint here, and we are going to move it like this from this. And it will not be a straight triangle like this, it will be a diagonal triangle, not straight but diagonal. We are taking the paint only from this, what we have drawn, this thing. We are not going to add any more paint. Can you see? So we put this here. This will give you the transparency effect. Same goes to this side. Just take some water and blend like that from the stick that we drew. And this one we will do it like this, in this angle. Now what we can also do is take a little bit of paint, the darker shade, and add a little on the tip. Like this. And add a little more here. It's all about how you want your sail to look. So I'm choosing a little bit of depth in this area, so I will blend it here like this. While this dries, what we are going to do is take a little bit of tissue paper, and wherever you feel there is excess paint, you're going to dab it off. This needs to be as light as possible because that's how your sail is going to be. I'm using this Tombow brush pen. You can use any uniball pen or any micro tip pen, whichever you have, you can use that. Okay, so I'm going to take this and we're going to draw really small birds. For those who don't know how to do it, let me show it to you here so that you get a clear idea. Just a minute. Yeah. So the simplest way is to draw like this. Draw a big V and this. And when you're doing it the other way, draw the V down and like that. So this is a very simple way for you to draw birds, and that is what we are going to do in this one. You can even draw dots like this to make it look like it's far away. You can add as many trees if you want. You can add even birds, smaller birds. You can add a bird sitting here. You can add a moon. Okay, that's a small bird. Now once this has dried a little bit, we will go in and add the details. Let me show you how I do the details. So with my pen, I'm going to highlight this part. Okay, give it a tip. And this corner, you need something to hold the sail. So let's draw a little thing here, and very light, very mild colors, very lightly. You don't have to draw full very strong ones, just light. Very lightly. You can also add in more details with the darker brush. Now I'm not entirely convinced with this part, so I'm going to make it darker. Taking the same shade of the base and I'm making it darker. You can add, if you want, if you have a white pen with you, you can also add in more details. You can add the details here. Can you see it? Here. You can also use white gouache if you have. What kind of a painting should a beginner try? You can try the basic watercolor painting like this. This is actually very simple. You don't need much technique, much of training. If you see this live, I think you'll understand it's very simple to do. Even a beginner can do this. It's not very hard. You can try skies. You can try just blending. Let me show you. You can try something like this. Something like this. Very basic ones you can try. 1 minute. Something like this. This will be ideal for you to understand the colors, and then you can also try playing around with them to form abstract things. That I think a basic person who is starting can do that. Which white pen am I using? This is Uniball Signo white pen. I've been using this for the longest time, so I don't know any other white pen. Let me go back to the image. Yeah, and that would be it. I'm not able to accept it. Which colors am I using? I'm using Neva palette, and these are the colors. If you have any doubts, I'll tag them all in the comment section so that you could see and let me know. Hi Anushka, would you like to come on live so that I can ask you some questions? You can ask me some questions. This is my Instagram handle, and if you need anything, you can always contact me through my Instagram handle, which is Her Colorful Palette, where I do a lot more such paintings. And if you feel this is too light and you want to make it darker, you can always take a little bit of the color, and you can just and give it a quick wash like this. It's not a gel pen, it's more like creamy white type of a pen. No problem, Anushka. Nice meeting you. You can always join the live next time. Definitely, Ushag. We will do more lives. You can let me know if you have any doubts, any questions. I will tag all the supplies that I have used. I will put down all the supplies so that you can get it from them. And the paper that I'm using is from MENORAH. It's from MENORAH. Here, can you see? It's from MENORAH, and this is our finished products. Thank you so much, Anushka. We can add a moon. Yes, we can. We can add a moon over here. Just a minute. If you recreate this or if you try to do this, please tag MENORAH and me, and I would love to see all the artworks that you are doing. I've added a small moon over here. There you go. I am not using a microphone. I'm using my earphones. Is it clear? Is it audible? So I will be ending my live session now. All the products, everything will be tagged there. If you need any assistance, you can always contact me through her colorful palette. And thank you, MENORAH, for this lovely chance. Can't wait to see you all. Can we draw this type of painting on normal paper? On normal paper, it might be difficult because this has a lot of water content and it might tear the paper. So it's preferable if you have a textured thick paper. That is GSM above 200 will be perfect for it. The one we've used is GSM 240. You can use more than that also. If you have any doubts, anything else, you can always contact me. See you all. Thank you so much. Bye.